wanted to invite two of our servant leaders here who have been a part of this process for a while. And I kind of want to just draw the connection. And I think with serving, a lot of us who have either for the first time, like this is new within the last like year, or if you've been serving for 20 plus years, it's always really good to just have a refresher of what impact is actually happening. You know, like not only just with people and how we impact other people's lives, but also like personal growth within the people that you also lead with on your team, that you serve with on your team. So I wanted to invite, if you guys give a warm hand to Daniel and Bekah Pinedo, if y'all could come up here. I'm gonna give you guys some mics here. Oh, we're okay. We're okay. She's safe. Grab that mic there. So, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Daniel's shirt looks like a flower shirt to you guys, right? That's what it looks like. But if you get in really close to it, it's actually Star Wars, and you got a little bit of a Millennium Falcon. I don't know the names. Millennium Falcon and some other stuff there. So I just thought that was a cool shirt. Give it up for the shirt. Isn't that great?
Father's Day present.
Yes. It's a Father's Day present there. Is it on? Let's make sure it's good. Sweet. Okay, so kind of want you guys just to introduce yourselves and how long you guys have been serving and what areas you're serving. So, Daniel, go ahead.
Ladies first.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bekah. I've been serving for a while since I think I was 10. Yeah.
10, y'all. 10.
Yeah. I started, I think, across the street in the chapel. I was sitting in a kid's service one time, and I don't know, the preacher was like, hey, can we get some music for this game? And I just thought it was so cool how the audio guy was just, yeah, I'll get that for you right now. And it got me interested. I don't know why. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And, you know, I got involved. I started serving in everywhere I could. I remember I served in the praise and party room, the cafe, the student worship center, and now I'm here. So, I mean, it's been a long process, but I've grown a lot, and I've really enjoyed it. I made a lot of good family and friends here, so it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, Becca's been here for a long time. Are you okay with giving your age now?
Yes.
What's your age?
I'm 19.
She's 19, so she's been serving here 90 years, which is amazing. Like, it's so amazing. And then go ahead, Daniel, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Daniel, and I don't have a cool name like Dispo. I just go by. No, that's okay. So I've been serving in media for, I would say probably 5 years maybe. I don't know exactly how long. But for the longest time, I've been at Covenant Church for probably 17 years. And for the longest time, I was like, where am I going to serve? I mean, I need to serve. I would, come in Sundays, Wednesdays, and, just sit and receive and receive. And I mean, my heart is really with worship. I'm a worshiper. A lot of people don't know that I used to be in a band back home where I grew up. And with small churches, I was with the music ministry and worshiping. So coming to a big church, it was a big difference. And one of the things that, hopefully I won't ramble too much, that helped me back in my head was that I used to travel a lot also for my job. For the most part, I would leave on a Sunday or Monday morning and come back home either Thursday night or Friday. So basically, I was just home for the weekend. And I kept, making excuses. So, I need to spend time with my family because I'm not home that often. The band probably practices on Tuesdays, I can remember. And then, okay, what about with the kids, volunteering with the kids? And I never took the step to, you know what, let me sign up to serve. And then I think a few years back we had that draft day. And I think that's when I really decided to, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And also the other thing that I wanted to volunteer with media because, as you all heard, she had been volunteering with media, and I heard how much of a great time they had, the camaraderie, the neat things that they were doing. And I would tell Bekah, and she was, of course, younger back then. I want to volunteer with media. And she would say,
No.
no, media's my thing. You go do your dad thing or grown-up thing.
Yeah, I didn't think it was cool. But.
Yeah, so, but eventually, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the step, volunteer. And again, that was about 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah. And has it felt like it's flying by in the last few years? Like.
Yeah, I mean, it's when people ask me how long have you been volunteering for, and I think, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, but it's actually been more than that.
Yeah.
The first few months, and it's a funny story. First few months when I started, and we do things a little different now, where when we get a new person, they sit with us, watches what we do here in the main sanctuary. Back then, when I first started, we would send us to the
Student Worship
Center.
Yeah.
So I was over there, and I thought I was going to be over there for a month or so. So the next month I would get scheduled. I'm like, oh, okay, Student Worship Center again. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess they think I need more time on camera. And next month, oh, again, okay. And I would tell Bekah, hey, can you say something? How long am I going to be over there? And Bekah being Bekah, she's kind of quiet, right? So she wouldn't say anything. And I think she finally said something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what did they tell you?
That there was another little kid named Daniel, and they got them mixed up.
So they thought I was a little kid on the schedule. So that's why they kept scheduling me.
And that's why we have PCO, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I finally got scheduled over here, they're like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were a little kid. Like, no. Well, thanks, but no,
Yeah. They
I'm
thought you were
grown up.
young. They just thought you were real young. You
Yeah.
look good for your age. That's what it was.
Thank you.
I thought he was my little brother.
Yeah.
I think it was Bekah. She was just keeping you over there. That's what it was. No, I'm
Truth
just
comes
playing.
out.
So I know you kind of mentioned about you being involved in worship before, specifically like with actual like music side of things, and then you finding kind of a place here in media.
Yeah.
How has like that impacted you serving, like not just in media, but just serving here at Covenant? How has that impacted you on a personal level?
I would have to say that, again, a lot of us, and I know a lot of people in media have talents as far as worshiping, playing an instrument, singing. And I took that as, all right, so since I know the band is amazing, they're professionals and everything, and I just had to be honest with myself that, okay, I can still worship where I'm at, whether I'm on a camera, pushing a button. That's my form of worshiping. And also, if you ever get to be back there in the control room, we're doing our thing, doing the best that we can. But once in a while, you see hands raised up, you hear people singing, because they're worshiping. I've seen pictures taken of the media booth where Dispo, David, they're worshiping while they're controlling the boards. So it's just another form of worship. And that's what I do. I just worship with what I can, with what tools I'm given. Yeah. It's not an instrument, it's buttons, it's a camera, but I'm worshiping.
Yeah, it's so good, yeah. It's cool to see that connection, that connection between the two. It's not a separation, it's all one thing, it's really cool. And I know with Bekah too, like you've been here for 9 years serving. Yeah. She just trumps like everybody basically. I ask her what to do on Sundays. But as far as like the impact, I know with your dad, you guys being the same family, obviously close, but separate, right? Like growth things. What would it look like for you if you hadn't served, if you weren't serving, or being a part of a team, being a part of this culture?
Well, getting into media, I feel like in the beginning, I was a kid. I didn't really feel like where I belonged. I felt kind of invisible. Didn't really know what my purpose was, per se. And when I joined media, I guess that was my way of, I'll just be in the background. Like, no one will see me. I'm fine. It'll be fine. But, like, as I got more involved, I realized that, being invisible isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, you're helping usher in the presence of God just by being back there. And that to me has had a large impact on who I am as a person, being comfortable with, not always being up front and center. And you do get your opportunities. Like, I didn't think I would be up here. I probably would have said, no way, sorry, I'm gonna sit in the back. But I mean, I'm here, and even though I'm in the back, it's given me a lot of opportunities to put myself out there and say, you know what, yes, God, use me. I'll be up there, I'll do what I have to do, and you see it when you're back there, and again, like you said, you're seeing people raise their hands and worship. It's just amazing to look at all the different angles you see people worshiping and giving their lives to God, and it's like, wow, I had an impact in that. Like, I helped, I guess, prepare the atmosphere for God. And it's amazing because I feel like I've grown as a person, as a leader. I've stepped out more. I have a voice now. And I feel like I found my place, and I know what I'm supposed to do now as life goes on, whether I, go leave for college or not. I feel like that will always be with me. And I learned that.
Yeah.
And I learned that by joining media. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
it's been
so
pretty
good.
great.
That's awesome. And like the cool thing with Daniel and with Bekah, there's been so much growth in them just personally, and making those connections, like Bekah was saying about how she makes decisions now. What the way she's served here and the culture that she's been in has helped been an impact for that, right? And that's through everyone here, and so it's been really cool. Bekah, when I first met her about 3 years ago, maybe in 6 months she said 2 words. Like, she does not talk.
Yeah.
So for her to be here up on a mic, we have seen her grow and develop to become a woman. I know you don't want to hear that because she's getting at the dating age, but but she's really grown in her character and finding her strengths through the opportunity of serving, right? Through those opportunities, through when PCO comes up on her email and she sees opportunity to serve and she's like, yes, you know what I mean? Like, it's through those opportunities that impact really begins to go on just a different level, right? And just kind of allowing God to use you in all that way. Daniel, I know you mentioned with like the kids service and how they kind of mix up the names and stuff. Yeah, you've been around for probably a lot of changes too, right? Because just when we're in ministry, there's just changes, right? Changes are always happening. Like, how have those actual changes even made an impact in your life going through like the last few years that you've been here?
Well, the first change was that when I first, eventually, they knew that I wasn't a kid. So I went from being a kid to the team to coming over here and being, hey, there's Bekah's dad. Hey, Bekah's dad. Hey, there's Rebecca's dad. So I'm like, that's fine. I mean, she's been here for a while. And kind of like her, I'm more of the quiet type until, you get to know me, and I like to joke around a lot. I guess it runs in Daniels or whatever. We like to mess around. But at the same time, I'm kind of reserved and everything. So serving has allowed me also to make connections with people to where now, I'm one of the leaders in media, which is, to me, it seems still a little strange to be viewed as a leader. So, I get to meet new people, and now the struggle is trying to remember everybody's name, and which a lot of people do have that problem. So, like Bekah says, just putting myself out there and being able to tell people, hey, this is what you're gonna be learning. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to come to me, and I can help you. We have a great team here, and just the feeling of belonging to a team. Because out there, you're working and everything. You have friends at work, and here it's different. I consider the media people we call them our media family, and it's a close group. I love this team, and just serving with them is just giving me purpose. Even at my age, I know I'm not 19, barely over 20, but it's giving me purpose at where I'm at. So I actually feel younger than I'm actually
Yeah.
25,
There you go.
29.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so good. Yeah, and I mean, Daniel, like you've really, been a really cool guy to just experience seeing like impact. And so like he's really one who, jumps at the opportunity to take advantage of serving or whatever it is. And because of that, it's been a ripple effect with the rest of the team, especially like people who come in new. This culture, like Pastor Misty was talking about, we lead through the culture, not just the policy, right? We lead through the culture. The culture has gotten people who are brand new, who understand it and who get it, and they something clicks and they understand like, okay, this is a place for not only giving, right? Giving of my time, which is very valuable. All your time is very valuable. Giving of my energy, giving of my talents, but in the process of giving myself, I'm also being built up and grown, and like the Bible says, iron sharpens iron. And so when you're around other people who are also swords, right? Like you're just gonna be sharpened as well. And so it's really cool to kind of see you guys through that process there. I wanna ask you guys one more question. And I'll have you guys both answer this. But if there was somebody who is serving for the first time, like say it was you coming in to serve for the first time, like you're just getting involved, what's some things that you might say? What's one thing you would encourage that person with or tell that person? So we could probably start with you, Daniel, then we'll finish with Bekah.
One thing that I've heard from new people is it can be a little bit overwhelming to see. I mean, when you first walk into the control room, the number of screens, buttons, and just technology and how everything works can be a little overwhelming. And the great thing is that when a new person starts, we sit them, hey, just watch how things go, watch how we interact with each other, how we communicate with each other. And from then on, we tell them, okay, we're gonna put you in one spot and you're gonna learn that spot, get comfortable with that, and then move on to the next one and to the next one. Mm-hmm. So I would say, don't get overwhelmed. Yeah. And it's just exciting. And just talk to people. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
That's good.
Ask. Even if you have to ask a question for the same button several times, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just ask. We're here to help. We're here. We've been in that spot, mm-hmm. and we want to bring everybody to a level where they can, just come in, serve.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. And like you mentioned too about like just not being overwhelmed, right? That could be something big for a lot of people coming in, especially the first day. Can you imagine like if you're at a new job for the first day, like the emotions and feelings you have? That's sometimes what people have when they first come here. They're meeting new people for the first time. Maybe they're not a people person. Then the overwhelming feeling of like, can I actually do this? Can I be a part of it? But like, our beliefs are like everybody belongs, right? Everybody has a purpose here. And so to make sure that there's less of a pressure to say, hey, this is a process of learning, right? This is a safe place for you to grow is really beneficial, I think, to a lot of people. And so like Bekah, what would you say would be a good nugget of wisdom or something for somebody who is coming in for the first time serving?
You don't really have to come in with everything figured out. When most of us started, we didn't know how anything worked, and you just build those skills over time because, we sit you down, we train you on specific things. And so, don't be afraid to say, well, I don't really know how to do that. It's okay, we'll teach you. Like, everybody learns. And also, I think the second thing I would say is no job is too small. And I think this goes with any field you volunteer in, whether it's media, serving coffee, greeting. nothing you do is too small, nothing's overlooked. Like, you're not insignificant, because for someone who's coming here for the first time, they're looking to see where they belong and like how the atmosphere is. And so your smiling face, like the button you're pushing back there, it contributes to a lot. So I'd say that in whatever you do, just like worship, everything you do glorifies God. So just, remember that you are important and you belong to a family.
So good. So good. That's so good. Yeah.